All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our annual members info session. My name is Alexandra Sapolin. I'm our second VP for Queens Bench Bar Association. I also serve on our board of directors for our sister organization, the Queens Bench Foundation, which we'll talk more about this afternoon. I also want to introduce my fellow board members on Queens Bench. I am joined by Julianne Smith, our treasurer, as well as our current president, Sarah Craig. So we are all really excited that you're here. We're here to answer your questions. But first, I want to talk to you all a little bit about what Queen's Bench is, what we do, what we have to offer. We'll have some time at the end of our presentation to answer questions. If you have questions during the presentation, please drop them in the chat. At the conclusion of the presentation, we will then answer questions that are in the chat. So we'll go ahead and get started. As an overview for everybody, we'll talk a bit about who we are. We have been an organization that's been around for over a century, and we are now split into two organizations that work in tandem with one another to provide the various programs that you'll hear about this afternoon. I'll talk to you about what your membership in Queens Bench includes. So the actual tangible membership benefits that you receive. I will also talk about how do you maximize your member benefits, especially in the first few months of your membership. We often find that our members who maximize their membership benefits within their first 90 days tend to stick around and advance through our leadership. So we can talk a bit more about what that looks like. We'll talk a bit too about levels of membership and dues tied to them. We often receive questions each year as to how much do I owe this renewal cycle? Am I still a member at this level? So we'll also be helping you navigate which membership tiers you qualify for, and then we'll end with here's how you join on our website and questions. So we were founded, as I mentioned, over a century ago. We were founded in 1921 by a group of women who were shut out of their local bar association in San Francisco and decided to build their own. This was especially telling and important for our organization because this coincided with women gaining the right to vote. So this was generally a period of time where women leaders were galvanizing in our community in order to promote leadership within the profession and beyond. More than a century later, we still carry out that tradition. So our community of judges, attorneys, and professionals and students regularly come together to empower women and promote gender equity in the San Francisco Bay Area and beyond through various programs. We currently are comprised of two different organizations. There is what most of you may know of as Queens Bench, which is Queens Bench Bar Association. That's a 501c6 organization. We host the programs, events, MCLEs that you typically hear about in your weekly digest. There is also our sister organization, the Queens Bench Foundation, which is our charitable 501c3 organization that hosts various charitable programs and initiatives and education-based programming. I'll talk a bit more about some of the foundational programming that the foundation has done. So if those of you who are on the call are interested in volunteering for those events, there will be an opportunity at the end of our presentation to sign up for those. Across our over a century of history, we have created opportunities for members to take on leadership roles. As of today, we have approximately 14 member-led committees that you can join as a member. We'll talk a bit more about what those committees are as we move through the presentation. So who can be a Queens Bench member? Most people can be. So judges and judicial officers can join our bar association. Attorneys, of course, are a huge bulk of our association. So litigators, transactional lawyers, whether you're in a solo or a law firm or working in government or nonprofit, there is a space for you in our organization. We also provide opportunities for in-house and corporate counsel to join us, so you do not necessarily have to be in court in order to be a Queens Bench member. If you are working in-house, we would love for you to join us as well. We can also talk about opportunities for business development and cross-industry connections that you can make if you are in-house counsel. We also provide special programming for our law students in the Bay Area. I myself am an alumna of the law school student liaison program that we offer each year through our membership committee. I will talk a bit more about what that is and what it entails. And we also provide opportunities for other categories of legal professionals to join us. So mediators, arbitrators, neutrals can join as members. We also provide opportunities for paraprofessionals to join Queen's Bench. So paralegals now can join. Your legal assistants can join. If you are a member of court staff in any of our 9 Bay Area counties, you are eligible to become a member. As well as if you are HR in any law firms, you are also eligible to join Queen's Bench. Let's talk a bit, though, about what membership typically includes. So, of course, like other traditional bar associations, you do receive certain CLE benefits if you join Queen's Bench. So that could be at free or reduced pricing for members, depending on the nature of the CLE program. There are certain mixers and events that you are able to attend as a member. There are also unique opportunities for mentorship, whether it's you being interested in mentoring or you are looking for a mentor. There are also opportunities to engage in advocacy. So, in addition to being our treasurer, Julie is also our co-chair of our amicus briefs committee. So, we'll speak a bit more about what that entails and why that committee is so special here at Queen's Bench. We also provide some other business development related resources. So, we do provide job postings that are exclusive for members. We also, through our mentorship committee, provide job and career help resources. And we also provide discounted registration on various events, both within Queen's Bench and with our various affiliates throughout the San Francisco Bay Area. We do, as I mentioned, offer CLE programming. This is offered year-round. We are a multi-activity provider. So most MCLEs under the sun, if you want us to host it, we can. If we strongly encourage you, if you are interested in developing CLE programming, or want to share your knowledge in your practice area with members, please contact us, and I strongly recommend that you join our education committee so you can have a direct hand in developing those programs. We do have some CLE programming coming up later this month in early August. All members are able to attend those events at a discounted rate. I strongly encourage you to attend. The CLEs in question are part of our summer MCLE series that we host based on topics of interest that the members have expressed that they would like to learn more about. So this year's Summer MCLE series is focused on the various ways in which AI impacts our practice. So we will have a session on storytelling with digital evidence on July 21st. We also will talk about AI-generated evidence in the courtroom on August 4th. We also will be talking about the use and admissibility of digital evidence during trial in court. So if you are a litigator who often works with electronically stored information, or if you are a student who is interested in working in litigation, I strongly encourage you to register for these programs. These are lunchtime MCLE events that you can sign up for, and registration will be open shortly after this event. We also have certain signature events and traditions that are age-old in our bar association that members are strongly encouraged to attend in order to network with judges and senior partners in our area. The most important one that's coming up is our annual gala. So this year's gala will be held on Thursday, November 19th at the Hyatt Regency San Francisco. You really should attend this event. This is one of our largest events of the year. It's a wonderful opportunity to meet various judges in the area. Multiple members of the San Francisco bench join this event. We also are often joined by signature resolution, jams, and ADR services. as well as several in-house counsel from various Bay Area companies. So you really should go. It's a great networking opportunity. It is also our forum for our annual speaker series. This year's speaker is going to be Karen Masalo. She's a specialist in gender-based asylum work. So especially in light of recent developments related to immigration law, nationally and within the state, we always pick a keynote speaker that touches on timely contemporary issues in the law as it overlaps with Queen's Bench's mission. So I strongly encourage you to attend. We also will be opening up nominations for our annual Merit Awards. We give out merit awards each year to a member in their first year of membership who demonstrates exemplary leadership skills. We offer a service award, and then we also offer a lifetime achievement award to spotlight members in the Bay Area who have dedicated their careers to service in line with uplifting women and gender equity in our profession. Other traditions that you should be aware of: we host a judges dinner periodically, as well as a past president's dinner. So if you are interested in learning more about the history of Queen's Bench and meeting our prior leadership, we have approximately 25 past presidents who are active. We were one of the first women-founded bar associations in the United States. So we tend to have a particularly active past leadership. I do encourage you all to meet some of our past presidents. They've done some incredibly impactful work over the years. Online, you can also learn more about our past presidents through our oral history project. And if you are interested in contributing to preserving our history, I do encourage you to join our history committee. We also have business development opportunities. So for those of you who are interested in receiving referrals for your practice, the two events I particularly recommend for you are Cocktails and Couture and our lead reception. Cocktails and Couture is hosted by our business development committee each year. We partner with local Bay Area women-managed or women-owned businesses in order to spotlight their work. And also it's a hub and ground for you to obtain business contacts. Case in point, I went to Cocktails and Couture recently. I ended up getting enough business cards in order to find my regular experts in my family law practice, as well as co-counsel on various cases. So it's a wonderful program. I highly encourage you to attend. We also have a lead reception where you have opportunities to collaborate cross-industry. That is also headed by our business development committee. So Kaylin Rami is one of our directors at large who co-chairs the business development committee. We can talk at the end of the presentation about how to join that committee if you are interested in those opportunities. We also have several mixers. We have a book club that periodically meets. We have had wine tastings and meetups around the Bay Area. We are currently in the process of working with Manny's, a comedy club in the city, to host a comedy night through our membership committee. So stay tuned for more information on that. But there are constantly opportunities throughout the year to be able to meet with various members and to bond with our leadership. I also encourage you to attend these events and become a member because your membership ultimately pays for itself. So for example, our gala tickets, generally for members, we have early bird sales that are available at steeply discounted rates compared to what our general rates are once those tickets are released. We also provide reduced ticketing for certain categories of members that may demonstrate financial need. So government, nonprofit, and public interest attorneys are able to attend at a discounted rate. Attorneys in their first 5 years of practice can also attend at a discounted rate, as well as law students and our guests of honor. Their similar discounts are also available for our MCLEs and other programs. On average, most of our members are able to recoup their membership dues within 1 or 2 events that they attend during the year. We also spotlight mentorship at Queen's Bench. Mentorship is something that is of particular importance to our organization, and we tend to be pretty hands-on with the mentorship programs that we provide. There are several right now. There are 4 programs that we have within our mentorship committee that are currently active. One is Get Into the Legal Loop. It's our annual Women's History Month service event that we host in March that introduces local community college and law students to the profession and various careers. I do see some people who have joined us who are also Gill alumni. Welcome back. It's great to see you. But I do highly encourage anyone to volunteer at Gill if you have a chance to. I attended the very first Guild that was hosted back in 2019, pre-COVID. Apple has partnered with us. Other tech companies have partnered with us in hosting that event. It really is a special event that's at least near and dear to my heart. It's how I met my Queen's Bench mentor, who's past president Hannah Hardy Gunther, who's still my mentor, who I meet with once a month for dinner. So I highly encourage you, if you have an opportunity to give back, Gill is really a wonderful place to be able to volunteer your time. We have a law student liaison program. So if you are a 2L, 3L, 4L, or LLM student that is looking to develop leadership skills and complete a capstone project that you can use to show to employers to get a job after graduation, I highly encourage you to participate in that program. I participated in the program and developed a project related to equal pay and gender equity as it impacted working moms. Fast forward, I'm now a family law practitioner, and most of my clients are impacted by those issues. So if you also are supervising summer associates, and are looking for opportunities for them to get involved in leadership and further develop their applied skills, I strongly encourage you to direct them to our Law Student Liaison program. We also offer shadowing opportunities. So some of our members who are more seasoned in the profession offer opportunities for newer attorneys and younger professionals to observe them at hearings and dispute resolution conferences to learn more hands-on skills on how do you negotiate a contract, how do you argue a motion, how do you even present yourself in court. A lot of skills that most of recent graduates who came up during COVID or just after COVID didn't necessarily have the same opportunities to develop those skills. So if you are interested in shadowing a more experienced member, or if you have an opportunity to offer shadowing opportunities to some of our younger members, please come see me or email mentorship@queensbench.com or queensbench.org so we can go ahead and direct you to our shadowing program. We also offer various committee meetings where we'll have guest speakers. The mentorship committee recently had a resume and cover letter review that we hosted. We host those usually a few times a year. Our next one is going to be, I believe, in September. Date TBD. So if you are interested in some help in finding a job or brushing up your resume or cover letter, please come see us. We also offer bar prep and certified specialist exam prep support, as well as bringing coaching for various career development topics. As I mentioned, mentorship is one of many committees that we have. We have 14 that are currently active. We have an amicus briefs committee, which handles a lot of some of our most important advocacy work that we currently do. Julianne can speak more to what the committee does towards the end of our presentation. Some of examples of what we have signed on to include the Oberfell Hodges Supreme Court decision. We've also handled some really special cases related to domestic violence prevention work with the Family Violence Appellate Project. We have an awards committee. So if you are interested in those merit awards that I talked about earlier and you want to have a hand in selecting members of our community for those awards, join the awards committee. Business development we discussed earlier. If you are interested in shaping policy or governance, especially if you are somebody who also works in the nonprofit space, I highly encourage you to join our bylaws committee. Civic and judicial appointments is also active. When you see emails from Jenny from the state bar asking for your input and feedback on certain judicial candidates, Queen's Bench also sometimes has the option to submit recommendations on judicial candidates. If you want to have a direct hand in that work, I encourage you to join that committee. The Conference of Delegates meets annually to provide recommendations to the state legislature on reforms to legislation by practice area. We are eligible to send a delegation to the Conference of Delegates. Our president, Sarah Craig, oversees the Conference of Delegates committee. So any questions can be raised at the end of the presentation. I chair our Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Committee. We have a direct line with the Minority Bar Coalition. There will be a summer mixer early next month. I will be there along with members of the Diversity Committee. I highly encourage you to join if you are interested in meeting us live. We have a Domestic and Sexual Violence Committee that our immediate past president, Alicia, hosts. They do some seriously incredible work on domestic and sexual violence prevention. They're currently working on some programming for Domestic Violence Awareness Month in October. If you are interested in volunteering for that programming, please contact us at the end. We talked about MCLE work. Employment and work-life balance is now known as our Wellness Committee. If you are interested in the mental health of your colleagues, overall well-being of your colleagues and promoting that messaging in the profession, please join that committee. You also will have an opportunity to be able to help host and plan events, help preserve our history, talk about reproductive rights, and of course, as I discussed earlier, mentorship. Again, here are examples of some of the work that has been done. Amicus Briefs has drafted and joined briefs in cases shaping gender equity and civil rights. Judicial and civic appointments will help surface openings on the bench and in government positions and evaluate candidates. Those do include interviewing candidates throughout the year. You can draft resolutions for the Conference of California Bar Associations that go to Sacramento. We also participate in various national and statewide campaigns on legislation impacting reproductive rights and other issues that impact women. Kara Wild is a past president and an active member. She particularly commented, here was a place where I could draft an amicus brief on a fundamental issue, be part of recommending a judge for appointment, have a voice in the legislative process, not just as a better lawyer, but as a better citizen. So if you are interested in a bar association membership that offers you opportunities to do hands-on, meaningful work, I do encourage you to become an active member in Queen's Bench. We talked about career growth. We have job postings. You have an opportunity to submit articles to our newsletter. That can be op-eds, that can be educational articles, awards that you or your colleagues are receiving. If it's happening to our members, we would like to know and we want to amplify and share it. So please send that to digest@queensbench.org if you would like announcements in our digest. Our member directory is also going to now be live. So if you are looking to refer work to a member who specializes in family law and you're not sure which of our members is in family law, you now can log into your Queen's Bench account, go to our member directory, search by practice area, and then put together a referral list. So that's a big deal for us now. That's a new feature that we've launched as part of our membership benefits this year. I wholeheartedly encourage you to take advantage of that resource because I know I've already referred a few of our members to colleagues and clients through our member directory. So if you should make sure though that your member profile through your Queen's Bench account is updated in order to ensure that the referrals that are going out are accurate. We already talked about our awards and nominations earlier today. You also will have an opportunity to nominate fellow members for awards that are offered by our sister bar associations. So for context, often our members will join. You sign up for a committee. You will have opportunities throughout the year to apply to become a chair of a committee. If you are interested in becoming a chair for a committee, we currently have immediate vacancies that need to be filled. More information about those vacancies will go out this week. And also, you can come to our members meeting every November, during which we vote in our committee chairs. So if you are interested in running for a chair role, please come see me. I can assist you in finding committees that may be a good fit for you based on your interests. And then if you are interested long-term in becoming a chair of that committee, please also come see me because I can talk to you about the chair process. Several of our board members were former or current committee chairs, as you've seen. I also encourage people, if you would like to have a visible leadership role in Queen's Bench, it is a very good idea to start getting involved in committees. As I mentioned, I am also on the board of directors for our sister org, the Queen's Bench Foundation. We were founded in 1974 by 8 Queen's Bench members. We were created to educate, conduct research, and defend the human and civil rights secured under law. The first project that we worked on was released in 1976. It was a study called Rape Prevention and Treatment. It broke ground nationally. It was one of the first modern studies done on sexual assault prevention work, and it laid the groundwork for a lot of that work that's being done today. A documentary on the foundation's history is also on our YouTube channel. We also have done several award-winning projects. When Juvenile Hall was open, we used to host an annual program with the local bench in order to support young women and girls who were in Juvenile Hall. We also host a program called The Color of Justice that is set to be rebooted sometime this fall. That's a wonderful opportunity for you to be able to come meet with high school students, help them learn more about what the legal process is. I really do encourage you, again, to volunteer your time. If you are more so interested in doing hands-on community-based work as a Queen's Bench member, I strongly recommend volunteering foundation events. So let's talk about how do we maximize your member benefits in the first 90 days. So as I mentioned, we often see that our members who tend to stick around and maximize their benefits the most are the ones who go through these certain steps within the first 90 days. So in your first month of membership, or starting today, you should log into your Queen's Bench member account to make sure all of the information is current. As I mentioned, we now have a new membership directory. The first thing that most people will see will be your profile in the directory based on whether it is updated or not. So please make sure after this presentation that your profile is up to date. We use Wild Apricot for our member platform. So you can now download the Wild Apricot member app on your iPhone or your Android phone to access Queen's Bench content on the go. And you can also register for events within the app. I strongly encourage you to do so. We also allow you to access your member ID card through the app, as well as QR codes for check-in at in-person events. So you no longer have to carry a stack of papers to check in. You simply have to show your QR code at the registration table. We scan it, and then you go into your event. Your second month of membership, you should join a committee that fits your goals. In order to find an idea of which committees might be a good fit for you, I encourage you to take our membership quiz at queensbench.org/quiz. You should attend a mixer or affiliate bar event. Our next upcoming mixer will be the Minority Bar Coalition Summer Mixer that our diversity committee will be attending. So you should join me and our committee there, and I'm happy to talk to you more about Queen's Bench there. You also should reach out to our board members. Our board loves meeting new members. I cannot tell you how much it brightens our day when we get emails from members saying that they would like to get involved. If you are interested in getting more involved, please reach out to any of us. We would love to chat with you and help you navigate the Bar Association and connect you with organizations and committees that fit your interests. Month 3, I encourage everyone to bring a colleague or a classmate to an event, especially for business development and networking events. I would strongly recommend bringing them to some of our in-person events that are going to be coming up later this summer and the fall. You should also volunteer for certain programs or the gala as a volunteer. It gives you some insider glimpses into how we do the amazing work that we do. And most importantly, every member should put November 19th on their calendar, and every member should come to attend the gala each year. So let's talk about which membership tier makes sense for you. So as a reminder, all members receive similar benefits. So you get the weekly digest subscription that goes out each week. Our secretary, Vina, and our assistant secretary, Kim, oversee that work along with our social media. Any updates that you want about Queen's Bench, see them or check out our platforms on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Or our digest. You get member pricing on events or CLEs. You get your member directory listing for referrals. You are able to join committees, and you also get to vote on various items at our annual members meeting. But we also want to make sure that you are registering for the right member tier. So let me talk you through how this works. Our general membership is generally for anybody who wants to join Queen's Bench. If you are a paralegal or other paraprofessional, you save $10 on your general membership. Easy. If you are a member of an organization affiliated with California Women Lawyers or the Minority Bar Coalition, and we include in our quiz a list of current member organizations that we regularly update. More often than not, most of you should be eligible for this affiliate or minority bar rate. So for example, if you are a member of the San Mateo County Bar Association, you are eligible for an affiliate or minority bar rate. So that is something that you should sign up for. We also give you a direct link to our diversity committee that oversees our partnerships with the other sister bar associations affiliated with Queen's Bench. If you work in the public sector, you receive an even more reduced membership. So if you work in government, public interest, or nonprofit, you should be signing up for that membership tier of $50. If you are a JD or LLM class alum of 2021 through 2024 this year, you are also eligible for a reduced membership. So we typically offer a recent graduate discount if you are 2 to 5 years out from your law school graduation. If you are also a retired member of the California Bar, you also are eligible for a reduced membership. Further, if you are an attorney in your first year's practice, your membership is free. If you are a law student, your membership is also free. We occasionally have members who sometimes don't necessarily fit neatly into these categories. If you think that applies to you, you can drop your particular situation in the chat and I can assist you in identifying which tier is best for you. We also offer a hardship-based membership. So if you're looking at this chart and you're thinking, I cannot afford this right now, please send an email to admin@queensbench.org explaining what your hardship situation is. Still complete the member application online, and then we will assist you in figuring out how to become a member. And it is easy to join as a member. So all you have to do is go to queensbench.org, select become a member. You apply online, so you pick your level, you complete the short application. If you owe dues, you pay those directly online. And then we will send you a welcome email with login details. You can then claim your profile and pick your committees that you would like to join. If you are already a member, we do encourage you to log back into your account, make sure your account has current information on it. And then if you are due to pay dues, you can go ahead and do that now. If you do join this month, it will be on time to take advantage of our early bird gala rates before they increase in August. So I would love to thank everybody for their time. I know I mentioned that some of our board members are currently here. We also want to make sure that we answer your questions, so you can drop them in the chat. You can also ask them live here. But thank you so much for your time, and we would love to start answering some of your questions.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. This is Jillian here. I just want to echo everything you say. It was a great presentation, and we are definitely excited to see new members. Really get excited to have people reach out and see how they can get more involved. And I would definitely recommend joining a committee. It's a great way to really get to know members better, to work on substantive issues, really get deeply involved in it. And, definitely recommend joining a committee. There's no experience that you need. You don't need to come from a particular background to join a committee. All you need is just the interest in the committee. And that's it. So I would definitely, reach out to the committee members. You can attend meetings, see if you're interested. But I highly recommend joining a committee.
And then I mentioned too that you chair the amicus briefs committee. Could you explain to everybody what is that committee? What are examples of some of the briefs that we've recently signed on to, and how do you get involved?
Yeah, it's a great committee. We do a lot of substantive work. You mentioned a couple of cases already, that we've been, part of a lot of important appeals. Susan Godfrey is also another one we side on to. So what the Queen's Bench does is that there's a couple things we can do. The major one is signing on to other organizations or advocacy groups amicus briefs that they're filing with the court. If you're not sure what that is, that's something that can be filed in an appeal. You're not a party, excuse me, but you have something that you want the court to know. You have a position that you think the court should consider. So a lot of advocacy groups, have deep knowledge in specific areas, and will file what's called an amicus brief, a front of the court brief. So organizations will reach out to us, ask us if we'd like to join as a signator to that, to show our support for the position that they're offering the court. We also can write our own amicus briefs. That's something we can do if there's an issue that we think is really important. We can work as a committee and draft that. We also do a lot of work, like Alex said, with the Family Violence Appellate Project. We sign on to petitions to have certain appellate decisions published or unpublished. And that's, if a decision is published, that means that it carries precedent, it can be cited, so that's an important consideration, that if a judge makes a decision that's not published, that it doesn't carry weight to it. So a lot of times that'll be something also that'll be a petition for the court to consider publishing it, making it precedent, making sure it carries that weight to it, if it's an important decision. But yeah, it's a great committee. There's a lot of different issues we talk about. It's really getting into timely issues. So it's a great way of getting involved. I definitely recommend it. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or Lacey. I think her email's online too. We're the co-chairs, and we'd be happy for you to get involved.
Amazing. And then Sarah, I know you're our president, so we follow suit. Is there anything that you would like our new members or prospective members to know about Queen's Bench?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say I'll just echo everything that Alex said is spot on. Everything that Julie said is spot on. Joining a committee is absolutely the best way to get kind of your foot in the door at Queen's Bench. some of the projects that I've been involved in during my 12 years of practice and being an active member of Queen's Bench include the Civic and Judicial Appointments Committee, of which I'm a former co-chair, which was a really great experience, and the passion project of a good friend of mine from law school bringing it back. It's a great committee and a great way to interact with opportunities if you want to consider, lots of us, especially if we're at the early stages of our practice, we may be thinking about, well, do I want to be a judge someday? And CJAC is a great way to get exposure to that, to understand the process of applying for and becoming a judge. And also to kind of get your foot in the door and keep plugged into the local politics, because we're able to provide either evaluation or recommendation on any nonpartisan office. So if you have somebody who's running for another office like district attorney, that's a nonpartisan office, and it's a deeply felt, right, who is our district attorney is really important. Who is our public defender is really important. It could be a really great way to interact with the practice and to move things. So we have the ability as a bar association to choose whether or not to get involved in the race, and CJAC directs that activity and chooses. They're the front line on the board's decision on when we should weigh in on something. They also keep us abreast of opportunities to collaborate with other statewide organizations like CWL that hosts So You Want to Be a Judge, keep us apprised of those type of activities. Other committees that I've also done work with include working on the Juvenile Hall Project, which is a former committee. Obviously, we're all right. It was the right decision for the city to close Juvenile Hall, but that was an incredible project. That was the passion and creation of Judge Lee Baxter, who's one of our past presidents. And it involved interacting on a weekly basis with the young women in juvenile hall. And Color of Justice is going to be an annual way to kind of have a similar interaction, demystify the courts, offer students the opportunity to see attorneys and judges in a more relaxed setting, so that they have the idea that this is something that's accessible. People like them do this job, and it doesn't have to be a scary thing interacting with the courts. Even, judges like to interact with kids and be part of their community. So it's really wonderful. We're excited about that program restarting, and there are more opportunities, right, to interact with the Queen's Bench Foundation and with all the Queen's Bench committees. And then I'm going to make a personal plug here, because one of the things that the board is charged to do is to choose those awardees. And every year we're all members of committees and things, but it's still about what our members choose and what our members are motivated by. So we really need those names for our rookie award. We really need those names for the service award. We really need those names for the lifetime achievement award. And we value contribution from all of our members. When you see somebody doing something amazing with Queen's Bench, we want to hear about it so that we understand how they're shaping our organization, and would love to have some input from new members on all of the committees. So yeah, welcome. We're so excited to have you all.
All right, I see Shadiqua raised her hand. Hi, welcome back. Good to see you. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So I am newer to Queen's Bench. I think I originally joined late last year, so I didn't really get to be involved in anything. And so I rejoined, but I have a couple questions like, is membership, what are the months of the membership year? Like, does it start January to January or is it June to June? What are the months for membership? And also, how active are you all in the East Bay? Because I live in Oakland. And so I learned about you all by an event with Women Lawyers of Alameda. And so that event was in the East Bay, and but I don't know how active you all are in the East Bay. So just some
Okay.
clarity around that would be great.
No, that would be great. So I can at least tell you, as far as the membership cycle, how does that work? Typically, we open up signups in November at our members meeting. We ask everybody to sign up by January 1st. Your membership then lasts from January 1 through December 31 of the year. If you are joining mid-year and you want to have a conversation with us about what does your membership dues look like in light of you joining mid-year, email me and I will assist you with that process. You can join anytime, but our traditional membership starts full calendar year January 1 to December 31st. As far as are we in the East Bay or not? We are. We have hosted an East Bay mixer in the past each year. We also have several committee chairs that are also based in the East Bay where we host our events in different regions of the Bay Area. So we don't just stay in the city. We do go to the town. We do also go down to South Bay as well. My co-chair for the mentorship committee, Linda Anderson, she's based in East Bay. So I know our mentorship committee is particularly active in the East Bay. We also have a couple of our past presidents who are also active in East Bay. So for members who are interested in meeting with our prior leadership or getting mentorship from more senior attorneys or retired judges on their practice, a lot of our members who tend to get that feedback actually are based in East Bay. So if I can help connect you to some of our upcoming events that are going to be based out there, come talk to me after, and then we can figure out what we can link you up to.
And I'll just shout out, right? We live all over.
Yeah.
Queens Bench covers the 9 Bay Area counties. I personally live in Vallejo. And so I'm back and forth between San Francisco, Vallejo. I've got besties in Oakland. So absolutely, we cover pretty much everybody. And the NBC mixer is actually going to be in Contra Costa County. So that's, something to look forward to as well.
Thank you. And one last question about committees and involvement
Yes.
in committees. In terms of the expectation for participation, is it a hybrid of in-person and virtual? Is it mostly virtual? Is it mostly in person? What does that look like?
No, good question. Varies committee to committee. So part of it depends on what your interest is. Most of our committees meet virtually. You are not required to attend every single committee meeting. So typically what we do is each committee has their own listserv that you can sign up for to keep up. Usually, our most active committees have like 1 to 2 events that they host in person, in addition to our main bar association events. So I'd say total all in. I want to say what, Julie, Sarah, maybe that's like 8 to 10 total events a year that we'll typically have, including our boards events that we host. But I would say I probably, if I were ballparking, I'd say like 80% of the committee events are going to be virtual. And then our in-person events tend to be business development, mixers, or community service, volunteering. It's just easier to facilitate those kinds of events live in person. But that's typically the spread of our committee events.
Thank you.
And I would also say, to the extent that members prefer or want in-person activity, there's a lot of flexibility, right? Committee members and committees have the right to plan events and budget for events. And if you want to plan an event that's in person, we support that, we encourage that, and we budget for it. So there's a process in place where you can, fill out a budget form, submit it to the board, and get it approved, and have an in-person event if you want, if there's desire. In the past, especially pre-COVID. We had a lot more in-person stuff, but it just depends, and it often depends on the Queen's Bench members who make up the committee. Sometimes you want to have an in-person event. On CJAC, one of the things we used to do annually was we had hybrid meetings, so you could join by Zoom, and then we would have one meeting a year where we would be in person, and we would do like a holiday potluck that we would all just meet at somebody's office, which was super fun. I missed that one.
And then I know some of you are responding to our members poll. Does anyone else have other questions or are curious about past events that we've hosted?
I have a
Just-
question.
Hi there, Nina.
Hi, thank you guys so much for putting this on. This has been super informative. I'm also a fairly new member, just a few months in, I think. I've been super interested in getting involved in a committee. I've sent a few emails out to the respective committee heads and the admin email, but I haven't heard anything back. Maybe I'm
Okay.
completely missing the mark, but what do you recommend is the best course of action to get actually involved in a committee?
Well, let's get it done right now. So talk to me a little bit. What sorts of committees are you interested in?
I'm interested in the mentorship committee as well as the reproductive rights committee.
Okay, so the good news is mentorship's easy because you're talking to one of the chairs.
Right.
So let's connect live. So talk to me a little bit more. What membership level are you at right now?
I'm in like the new member, recently graduated one.
Recent grad. Okay, so what I am gonna recommend is let's get you scheduled with a meeting with Linda. So we have two chairs for our mentorship committee. We have one chair that has less than 10 years of practice experience. That's me. And then we have Linda who has more than 10 years plus. So let's get you connected with our more senior chair to have an initial meeting to talk about, hey, what sorts of things do you want to get out of mentorship? Because part of what we would want to figure out for our recent grads are some of them want to mentor law students. Some of them want mentorship. Some of them want to do both. So Linda can assist in connecting you to our programs within our committee. The other piece that we do as well is we also connect our recent grads to certain opportunities that might be relevant to their practice area. Could you tell me what practice areas you're in?
I'm in civil litigation, mainly legal malpractice.
Okay, so civil and then legal mal. So what I would recommend is we partner with a couple of our sister bar associations for a women in trial practicum program. To help recent graduates develop their skills. There are a couple of other trial practicum programs that we partner with, particularly for our civil, lit, family law, and crim members. Let's get you connected to one of those to start. And then we also should go ahead and connect you to a couple of other programs that talk about early career development. So we can get you involved in some of these opportunities. We're also going to have a couple of opportunities for recent graduates to lead a program for law students in the city. Nina, I'm going to put you down for one of those. We occasionally host panels at UC Law SF and USF Law to talk about different legal tracks that are available, but we specifically prefer to bring in new admittees and recent graduates who are closer in time to graduation for the law students for those events. We actually do not have anybody who does legal mal yet for that program. So if that's something that you're interested in talking to students about, I would love to get you connected with that team.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be great. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so let's talk after this.
Great.
But welcome, and we're excited to have you. And then I see Shadiqua, I'm going to have you on for mentorship as well.
And then, Nina, I heard you say you were interested in reproductive rights, and I will be candid. One of the committees that we have that has been more active in the past, but less active presently, is the Reproductive Rights Committee. So what I will do is I will reach out to our current reproductive rights co-chair. She has been looking for a co-chair, so you may get more than you bargained for. But that's a core mission of Queen's Bench, and we are really would be excited for more committee activity, and new and fresh input. So I will make every effort to connect you with Beth Hodis, who is the existing co-chair of that committee.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Thank you. And whatever capacity my involvement is in, I'm definitely up for a challenge. So whatever works is great.
Love it.
Amazing. And then I see Christina, I know we've exchanged emails. It's good to see you on. Welcome. We're going to get you signed up for domestic violence and wellness.
Great. Thank you so much.
Excellent. The other piece that I would love to talk to you about, and everybody on this Zoom should know. So for our weekly digest, our op-ed series, we always are asking for new content. Vina is one of our 2 board members who works on publications and advertising for our bar association. I am currently in the process of finding other family law practitioners to write an op-ed update for the bar on here are things that we should know that coincide with what we do in Queen's Bench and what we do in family law. So if that's something that you're interested in collaborating on together, please let me know. I would love to do something like that. We have, I think, about a fifth of our membership is made up of family law practitioners.
Oh.
So we are a huge contingency in Queen's Bench. So I think that would be something that would be really exciting if we can do it this year. So let's talk after this.
That's great. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. And then Vina, on our weekly digest, is there anything that you would want our members to know?
Do you mean in general or for the specific one this week?
I think in general. So how do people submit to the digest? Well, what are the sorts of things that they can submit?
I mean, really anything. I mean, you can email admin, you can email me directly. I think it's always good to sort of get a variety because the way that the digest works is, sometimes certain seasons are more active than others. And really what the best feedback would be is what we can emphasize to you. I mean, do you like more personal sort of like anecdotes about previous presidents, or are there specific job postings that you found to be helpful? Are there affiliate events like ones from CWL or other, organizations that'd be helpful to see? I think that would be really helpful to know from members, like what things in our digest you particularly find to be helpful to you. And certainly if there are any, I mean, especially if you're a recent grad and you're still connected with your law school a little bit and there's certain events that are worthwhile to be plugged in, we're always happy to have to get more updates, and then we can include those into the digest.
Amazing. Awesome.
I also want to make a plug for CJAC.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm the only chair for CJAC right now. And when I first started Queen's Bench, there happened to be an opening on CJAC. And so I just sort of started through CJAC. And I thought it was really great because there's so many more senior attorneys who had already been vetting judicial candidates. You learn a lot about the Ginny process, the California, the process by which a candidate is vetted. And recently, we're in the process of creating a new bar association. It's called the San Francisco Unity Bar Association. And that's truly an opportunity to be at the ground level of a new bar association in San Francisco. So not only, corresponding with judges on SF Superior Court, both current and retired, but also other bar associations in San Francisco or in the greater Bay Area, like La Raza, ABBA, Saba. I mean, there are just so many that are involved. So you actually start to realize, oh, wow, like you see the similar faces, and it just becomes really easy to connect with other professionals. And so I would personally love to have someone be a part of CJAC. Um, and uh, and and so yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to add. I don't know if it was mentioned that I was the secretary. I think you did mention that, Alex. Sorry, because we were talking about the digest. But yeah, if anyone is interested in CJAC, feel free to reach out to me directly. I would love to talk about any events or ideas you have in mind. And yeah, if you have any updates for the digest, reach out to me too.
Okay. All right, we are a little bit past 6. We promised you an hour. We gave you one. We can stick around after, but this officially marks the end of our presentation.